This program brought to you by Brewski's Bar and Grill, located in Utica, Minnesota. Your one-stop shop for delicious burgers, fries, pizzas, and more.
Darcy's our hair. Good. Darcy. Last show now, remember, Darcy. This is it.
Last show. Unless we are requested.
Well, she, when I brought her the card last week, Darcy, I'm going to tell him what you said. Couldn't you do it like a show a month during the summer? Just
How badly are we really wanted?
Well, by Darcy, pretty bad. Right, Darcy? Pretty bad.
I know I get a lot of comment. A lot of people they love it. Because it's different, man.
It's different. Ready?
Yeah.
Know where we're going?
No idea. It's when I'm at my best.
Welcome to Sports Back Talk with Boley and Ringer. Final show, Michael, of the 2018-2019 season, completing like our 3.5 seasons, right?
Yeah, it's almost
in February, so this is like 3.5 seasons going to be in the books.
Yeah, we started right before the hockey playoffs. I remember that, so it was February, and then for high school. And our first show was with Barbie Borger.
Yep, yes.
And she kind of started this whole mess with us, and she was a good sport putting up with us, and so here we are. And unfortunately, we didn't have the, star power that we normally have at this time of the year. We missed out on Woody fairly. That's why they call him fairly reliable, because that show never worked. We were actually going to go fishing with him and Kevin Constantine, but he wanted us to go at 1 o'clock, and both you and I have jobs.
Kind of tough at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
And then Jessie Pierce, of course, she just had a new baby boy. She's got 2 boys now, and that's Kim Clark's daughter. She graduated in 1980, and she's like a hockey writer, and she's up in the press box at all the Minnesota Wild games, and we were hoping to get her on, but
maybe she'll come up next fall before the season.
Well, I don't know if you saw my Twitter message to Jim Souhan.
I did not see. No, I did not see that.
I told Souhan, I said, we'll put you up for 2 nights lodging on Rainy Lake.
Okay.
I'll give him a guided fishing trip with Dave Peterson.
Okay.
One of the best fishing. He's not a pro guide, but he'll take people fishing.
Yeah.
And then I would maybe give him $100 cash for eating. This was out of my pocket. I have nobody sponsoring or putting this on. I just thought if we had Souhan up here in the area, that would bring some
star power.
Yeah, if it brought star power up here, then I'd maybe next year even get more than him, maybe get Michael Russo, but I don't know, him and I don't see eye to eye in a lot of
Well, see, we could go down to a Wild game. We can go to him and film the show.
Imagine if Russo saw me walking. Well, he's seen me up in the press box.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
He's wondering how I got up there. He was actually probably a little scared.
Probably.
What do you do with it?
Most people are. That's where
I'm such a scary guy.
Well, let's start with the NHL, the Stanley Cup underway Monday night. The Bruins, your Bruins, were down early, but came back and got a couple of goals. 3 in the third, I think, or 1 in the second, 2 in the third.
Well, what's 2-2 after 2?
Okay.
St. Louis scored the first 2,
and then got the late goal, the empty netter, and won 4-2. Are we going to see more of that tonight as we tape this on Wednesday?
I think so.
And for the rest of the series?
I think so. The Bruins won't lose at home. I'd be real surprised.
Okay.
And they're just a little better team, Ringer, and I think they got a better goaltending in their D-core with Chara and then Carlo and Krug and this guy that scored the other night. I've never heard of him. He played at Winnipeg.
Charlie Coyle? Is that the guy you're telling?
No, he plays forward. Did you notice Charlie was non-existent last game?
I got to watch about 6 minutes of the whole game.
Okay.
I was at my parents' place, and they're not into hockey. We were watching the Twins.
He was getting smacked around by Blaze, who he likes smacking guys around, and Charlie got a little scared of that. And he
I saw the penalty that he drew late in the game, about midway through the third period. That's about what I saw.
Yeah, Blaze got the penalty. Yeah. But anyways,
So your prediction, a number of games?
I wore a Bruins shirt on both Saturday and Sunday of this weekend. I knew they didn't play, but I wanted to show my colors, so out mowing the lawn. And it was like the movie The Burbs. You see the movie The Burbs? Where all the neighborhood, middle-aged guys are out there mowing the lawn.
All on the same day because-
Myself, we got across the street Scott Riley, my next door neighbor Einar Johnson, and these guys are doing your traditional up and down and around in the back. Not bullet. I'm doing
You're
old
doing the angle.
the angle.
You're in golf mode.
And I told them, you guys are bringing down the neighborhood. And then I got another neighbor next to Scott, and I know I won't mention his name because I'd be giving him a hard time. He's a bartender out at Shea Shea, but he didn't do his lawn at all. And then Scott Aldine, who lives a couple more houses down, he came out and did his because he saw how beautiful our lawns were.
Well, he felt guilty.
Do you ever do this on purpose, where you see your neighbor mowing the lawn, and I know where you're at, you don't got a real big
I don't
lawn.
have as long. No.
So there's really not a lot to, show off or brag about.
Yeah.
So I would purposely let Einar Johnson, if I knew he was mowing on Sunday, I would purposely wait till Tuesday and go out and just shave her down to nothing. I mean, right down to the, and that way,
It looks like
my
his lawn looks like this.
exactly. He looks like, blight situation. So I do that on purpose, but all three of us were out there, and we were all jawing across the way. None of us could hear each other because we were all on our lawnmowers. But it was a fun. I enjoy that part of neighborhoods.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with sports.
Nothing to do with sports.
Although the way things are going, maybe lawn mowing will be a sport someday.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, how many games for the Bruins to win it? 5,
Ooh,
6?
it's still probably going to go 6.
6?
Yeah, they'll get a little false hope. St. Louis will when they go home and sweep there. Probably 2-2 after 4, then the Bruins will close it out. Chara's not healthy. That's the only concern I got.
Okay.
Satana Charo's not healthy. McAvoy's a stud there. He plays the most minutes. He's only 21 years old right now. Okay, he's about 6'1", 6'2", can skate, understands the game, will muck it up a bit, but the Bruins are solid on that back end, and that's why I give them the edge.
Did you see the bulletin board, or the billboard, excuse me, not bulletin board, billboard that was somebody bought in Boston, in downtown Boston? Somebody put up a billboard that said, "Please end our drought. It's been 104 days since we won a championship." I thought somebody had a sense of humor. I mean,
Wonder who put it up.
They never said. They said somebody bought this and they had it up on top of a building in downtown. And I thought, well, somebody's got a sense of humor, with a little extra bucks and wanting to rub the rest of America's face in it. Look, we are Boston and we win championships and you guys don't. So
You can't argue with them, but tell you what, Minnesota Twins might be our drought buster.
could be our drought buster.
Except they still have to fix that relief. I think it is a good segue. I still think we got relief issues. I mean, Hildenberger, they relied on him, and now it looks like Rogers can't get anybody out.
Likes to give up the home run ball the last couple of
Yeah,
days.
they can't do that. And what about this rookie guy?
Just wondering if he isn't a little bit nicked. Rogers, a little bit tired arm. If they haven't been overusing him a little bit, and I'm just saying that's usually what happens. You lose a mile or 2, maybe 3 miles an hour on your fastball. All of a sudden, your breaking pitch doesn't break quite as much because your arm's a little bit tired. I just wonder if we haven't maybe overused some of our guys a little bit. And you mentioned, I think this last week, or somebody mentioned to me about you're not going to see the Twins do any trading or anything before the draft.
Yeah, that's my assumption.
Draft picks. Yeah. So we're just going to have to hold the course for a couple of weeks, and then we'll see if Kimbrel or one of these guys decides that they want to pick up the phone and give the Twins a call and say, "Hey, I'd like to come be a part of that. It looks like a lot of fun."
Yeah, and I think there's also outside help with some teams that are struggling that have closers. Boy, it's spread out right now in baseball. There's already about 10 teams. There's like 10 teams that are basically already eliminated. Okay, and so that's where what's her name's Kelvy and the brass of the Twins.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
We should do this before I bring it up. That's a
Fulvey is the one.
Yeah,
and
but you
I can't think of Theo and yeah.
That's a mistake. You never do that when you're in media. Bring up something that you have no idea what the answer
You're
is.
hoping that the other guy you go fishing.
I was hoping. But anyways.
Yeah, and I know I was at my parents on Monday night and we were watching it, and they were having just a conniption when Rogers gave up the 2-run home to Arcia, and ended up losing 5-4 there. Like the whole season was coming to an end, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's one game. It's the Brewers. The Brewers are a pretty good baseball team. And when Hader came in, that son of a gun, I didn't think he'd be able to get all 5 outs or all 6 outs, but by gosh, he did.
Isn't he a Minnesota kid?
Boy, that's a great question.
Isn't he the Chaska lefty
Could be.
that played for the Padres?
Could be.
Again, there's something else we didn't do research on, but I think it might be. But yeah, I mean, but Sano looked, lost. He was not going to hit that ball.
Yeah.
That was not even a question.
It's a different type of pitcher. He hides the ball so well, and you don't get a good look at it, and then it's coming so fast.
But you don't bring in Rogers to the Twins win that game. That's I don't think they're using May correctly. It seems like he's only going a third or 2/3 of an inning. He kind of comes out and puts the fires out.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not pitching a whole inning, and I think that should change because I think he's their best reliever.
I believe that as well, and somebody mentioned pulling guys in the middle of innings. Usually letting a guy finish up and go through the whole inning. Baldelli doesn't believe in that. I don't think he doesn't like the matchup. You're coming out of the game whether you're looking great or not. He's gonna make that change, and that's why I say I just wonder if we aren't overusing our bullpen a little bit. Rather than coming out maybe only throwing 8 pitches. Would it be better that you just sat your butt down and didn't pitch at all that day?
I get that, but when's the last time a starter on the Minnesota Twins didn't go at least 5?
It's true.
Huh?
You're right. We have not had to have that.
Maybe you order Izzy back in about the first week or or two.
It's been a while.
Remember last?
I hope you don't
Look at his ERA though. He had that one bad outing, gave like 4 runs up in a 1 1/3, and imagine what his ERA would be without that game. Holy man, that guy has been awesome and such a nice, pleasant surprise, and I think that's what they expected from him.
Oh, he's out.
Again, Ringer's watching this.
We're watching the TV, folks, and Oakland and the Angels, and this guy from the Angels was jacking around on second
Is that
base.
Trout?
And he got tagged out. What an idiot. Good for you in a 5-5 game in the top of the 9th, and you're on second base, and you just got tagged out because you wanted to do some...
Well, there's Boley mode, and now we're seeing Ringer mode. We kind of go in and out of them. But, yeah, anyways, the Twins, that was a bad play. But the Twins... I think everything's good. I do think Baldelli needs to find a closer. I truly believe that.
I think everybody in the state of Minnesota probably agrees with us on that one, but it's going to have to wait a couple more weeks. We're going to have to wait.
And they play tonight again, the Twins?
No, the Twins have tonight off.
And they played a 2-game series.
2-game series with
My question to you on that, why is, I don't know when they go to Milwaukee, but...
In August.
Weekend or weekday?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
It makes no sense.
2 days.
Give Milwaukee a weekend in Minnesota. Give Minnesota a weekend in Milwaukee. The rivalry and the distance between them should automatically be weekend.
Yeah, why they're doing it in the middle of the week, but they're doing these 2-game series because you got to play so many games in the American League. You only can play so many in the National. You want them to play the Brewers. So
we'll take a split with Milwaukee every week. That's a good split.
I saw the other day on Twitter, somebody had posted the magic number for the Twins already.
101?
101 it was, yeah. You saw the same tweet. I thought that was a little early, but that's okay. And Sheldon Slabar, a good friend, told me that if the Twins go 500 the rest of the way, they win 93 games.
Yeah.
I think if they go 500 the rest of the way, they win 93
I like their odds.
Like the odds.
With that hitting, they hit the ball over. And the weather hasn't even turned yet.
The weather hasn't turned.
Except today. I was so mad about how hot it was today. Imagine that. One last thing on baseball before we move on is Bill Buckner passed away at the age of 69. Louis' dementia, same thing Mr. Pete passed away from. So I kind of get what that is. And, he was a class guy for what he had to go through in his life over a stupid ball game.
Yeah, and everybody says, well, it cost them the series.
No.
They had a whole other game to finish the deal, and it's probably one of the most recognizable plays before before the ball's ever hit, everybody knows what's coming up. Bill Buckner's going to miss the baseball. It's going to go right between his legs. And, that's over 30 years ago, and he had to do it with some class. I mean, he had to put up with a lot of stuff, and it's unfortunate, but he seemed to come away with a lot of grace. It was interesting. I saw a tweet saying with the Twitter theme here tonight, there were 16 players that had 3 strikeouts in a game on Monday when Buckner died. Buckner never struck out 3 times in one game in his career, and he played for 22 years.
Every year, and I bet he was. I haven't looked it up. I bet he was a career 300 hitter. And
290, I think I saw was the number that he ended up with for the batting average, and then of course Bart Starr also passed away at the age of 85. Won 5 NFL titles, 2 of those being Super Bowls. So.
Kind of a class quarterback on a team that basically was set up for the run, and kind of like Bob Greasy when he was in Miami. And
don't make mistakes.
You don't get the Dan Marino and Terry Bradshaw stats, but what they did get is wins.
They got wins. 17th round draft pick.
Yeah.
Not too shabby into the Hall of Fame for Bart Starr. Where was I going to go? We were on the Twins. Boom, boom.
NBA. Baby.
Well, I thought about the NBA, and I want to rectify. I don't know what the heck happened to the Milwaukee Bucks, folks. I apologize.
Yeah, you guaranteed a sweep.
5 games. I said they were going to sweep the rest because they had lost that game and they were going to win the rest of the games.
Okay.
I don't know what happened if they got outcoached, if they. Well, a lot of people are saying when Kawhi Leonard was guarding Giannis, he became a non-factor.
Game over.
And the game changed. So I don't give the Raptors much hope against the vaunted Warriors, which starts tomorrow night on Thursday.
See, they can't score with them. Milwaukee could have scored with them. Which...
Yeah,
but who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Let's see what the powers that be in the NBA.
Well, we'll see if Giannis gets close again. I mean, he was demoralized. He was more worried about Drake on the sidelines than he was about scoring. He didn't want the ball in the game time situation, which worries me. And
I told you last week he disappeared in the double overtime game. He was non-existent, and yes, I know he fouled out, but when he was in the game, it was like he wasn't even there. So
you got to be concerned about that.
It's very interesting for the guy who very possibly could be the MVP of the league.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah, he should.
Anyway, I will say that Golden State wins that series in 5 games. I will say that now. That's my prediction, and win their 4th title in 5 years, I believe, if my memory is correct.
Well, at least 3 and 4. I don't know about 4 and 5.
This is their 5th straight year making the finals for the West.
Cleveland was the only team that did knock them off.
Right.
But anyways, the NBA draft's coming up. The Wolves are picking 12th. And
11th or 12th, somewhere in that area.
Well, the Wild and them are both picking right around the same spot. And
I know we talked about this before, but Steph Curry was drafted like number 7 overall, and he fell down. And wouldn't it be great if? Look at that, Minnesota ahead. Oh, that was their last game. Anyway, I just wonder where things are going to go with that. So anyway, we'll see with the Wolves, and can somebody fall to them and make that turn, because you get somebody with cat names.
There's a guy overseas they're looking at.
Huh?
There's a guy overseas that if he drops to 12, they're jumping on him, but that hasn't gone real well for the Wolves in the past.
Yeah, but it's getting to be more and more. The kid out of Dallas that came into the league this past year, can't remember his name right now, was like the 5th or 6th overall pick, and he went on a stretch, I think, where he had 8 straight games of 30 points, double-doubles. So I think the European player is getting a longer look.
I think a lot of it's the systems, too, and you get an opportunity to score. If you never get an opportunity to score, I mean, what the Wolves don't need is another scorer. They got Towns, they got Wiggins, supposedly can score.
But they need somebody who can stretch.
Who can defend.
And who can stretch the defense.
Throw the three-pointer.
Throw up a three-pointer and be a threat. Absolutely. So, high school sports.
We got to mention girls golf.
Big week this week with high school sports. Of course, softball started last week, the high school playoffs, and will finish up tomorrow on Thursday with their section championships in AAA and AAA. Of course, the boys and girls golf will have their championships tomorrow, and track has their championships tomorrow. and baseball just got underway. So, of course, you mentioned the girls golf team. They're sitting in first place as of right now, 5 shots ahead of Evelyn Gilbert going into day 2 tomorrow on Thursday.
You take the top 4 scorers on each team.
Take the top 4 scorers and add them up, and we'll add them up for 2 days and see what happens.
Kenzie Wenberg, 75.
Kenzie Wenberg shot at 75 today, which was, I don't care.
I've been saying this for the last 2-3 weeks on our golf show, is there's all 4 girls can shoot in the 70s. Kenzie Wenberg went out and did it. And they still got 3 more girls that can shoot in the 70s. So I still like the Falls' chances. Evelyn has 2 girls that can shoot in the 70s, so I guess it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is, do you get a number tomorrow? If the Bronco girls can get 4 scores in the 80s,
if they get
70s
4
and 80s.
scores, 85 or less, they won't.
Oh, 85 or less it's a done deal.
And all
I would
4
say-
of them.
I would say even
all
up to
4 of
89.
them. Yeah, and all 4 of them could shoot that. Easy.
Easy. Yeah.
So what were the scores?
Kenzie shot a 75, and I'm going off my memory now. I believe Morgan Rasmussen shot an 85,
Okay.
and Olivia Wright shot an 87.
She had a good front.
Yes, very good front. And then Maggie shot a 94. Maggie Rhoda shot a 94,
Okay.
I believe is what it
Yeah,
was.
Maggie will bring that number
Yeah.
down tomorrow, and
I have
that's
no
why I
doubt.
like their chances. We're not saying Kenzie's going to go out and shoot another 75.
would-
If she does, she's obviously in the zone a bit and feeling confident. And
I think she likes playing at the quarry, to be honest with you. I think it suits her game. She hits the ball quite a ways, and she knows where the bad spots are. She's played it for how many years, so I think
I've seen those girls out there. They can hit it out there.
they can poke it out and make
Nothing
things
but the
happen.
best for them, and hopefully we got a state qualifier there.
Yeah, and 3 boys qualified for day 2, so we'll see if they can.
Do the numbers roll over?
The numbers continue, yes. So it's a two-day combined score, and then the 5 kids or the 6 kids off of the
Top-
team off the top team,
Yeah.
and then the next
5.
I think it's 5.
Yeah,
Yes.
next 5.
So the Broncos, Mitch Nemec had the top score for the boys, and he'd have to shoot a pretty good round tomorrow
To get in?
To get in.
What has he got to go, about 80?
Less. He's gonna have to shoot. He's gonna have to have a 7 first number if he's gonna make it in.
Okay,
I think.
I hope
That's
so.
just my prediction.
Good kid.
And I will throw a shout out to my nephew from Cloquet.
Okay.
He shot a 77 yesterday.
Well, there is an athlete in your
There
family.
is an athlete in my family. He's sitting in second place. His teammate shot a 72 even par yesterday.
They played about 15 over as a team.
Team was 20 over, and the next closest is 50 over. So they're 30 shots in the lead. So it looks like Cloquet's heading back to the state tournament again. So,
Yeah, they
but a shout out to my nephew Anthony.
Yeah, good for you,
That's
Anthony.
on his birthday to boot.
Really?
He shoots that. So.
Okay. What is he, a junior, senior?
He's a junior.
All right, good
so,
for him.
for him to go up there and shoot 77, I think that might have been one of his lowest rounds of the year. And to do that at the quarry is.
Is Cloquet pulling a Hermantown here, playing down a class? Or
They possibly could bump back up next
you
year to
think?
3. They were up. They were in 3A the last few years.
what? So they
And
lost in Applebee's. Does that mean they can drop down to AA?
The numbers work out. That's how things work out. So. I suppose we should talk a little bit about the baseball games. The Bronco baseball team lost a heartbreaker yesterday, 5-4.
Yeah, good for them, though. They battled.
They battled with a team that they had lost to twice during the season, and that with Gilbert. So hats off to them for digging in. Just a little unfortunate luck. And I hate to say this, but I've seen that story go down before with the Bronco baseball team. I remember being in Ely a couple of years ago and having a late game, bottom of the 7th loss, and those hurt. Is this going to be back-to-back home runs? Or is that a replay? That's a replay. So anyway,
You like that movie with Kurt Russell and Robin Williams where they weren't supposed to watch the football game and then they had the Jets-Vikings game on and they were pretending to be real good husbands and boyfriends and anyways.
yeah, I can't. I got it. Yeah,
But I did get a chance to watch Little Fork Big Falls. Nice win against Chisholm, the number 3 seed, and I really like the McRoberts and Kennedy and these Erickson brothers, and boy, they're young ringer. They don't have one kid graduating, and they had a tough time against the other team, Nashwauk, and Nashwauk's loaded. They got 1 through 9 that could hit the ball all over the park. And
So are you heading to Proctor tomorrow to watch Little Fork? They're taking on Cook County.
we got it covered. I am not.
You are not going
I
down.
got a lot of things I got to do. I can't be running around the state and partake
Sure
in?
you can.
Well, I could, but I don't want to, or I do want to. But I really enjoyed Mr. Mason Emhoff's coaching style, and I talked to him quite a bit yesterday, and he's very cordial, giving me information and letting me talk to the kids between innings. And tell you why, they were down, and I'm not going to mention the score. I hate doing that. It was big.
Yeah.
They're coming out the field after the fourth inning, top of the fourth. They're coming out after giving up some runs.
Yep.
He met them all the way out. He went out to the first base line. He gave every one of those 9 kids a high five. They're down big numbers. You know what that told me for those kids? Your coach hasn't given up on you, and he thinks the world of what you're doing, and win or lose, battle for him. And that meant a lot to me, and I made sure I told Mason Emhoff that, and boy, he's like a chip off the old block. Has some good genes, you know. Mike Emhoff was a heck of a coach and a heck of a player, and fast pitch softball himself, and then of course his uncles Bill and Bob Mason, and so some good genes there.
Yeah.
And a good kid.
And a great kid.
That's one thing about the Masons. Good athletes and all that, but the Mason family, they all got good raisings of family, and so did the Emhoff. So, am I done with my little soapbox?
Man, that was beautiful. I may have to get a napkin out and dab the.
Well, you know, it's what I do right here.
So, what's left? What you want to talk about the Loons? They're playing in Atlanta, the 2 expansion teams over on the farm. You're not going to sit down and watch that tonight?
Really?
You're going to go outside?
I don't think soccer really knows what time of the year they're supposed to be a sport, so they play year round.
Yes, they do.
I mean, it's like a 9-month season.
It's a 9-month season.
What's the point? Because they got all these games, and what do they call friendly games? What's that about?
The friendlies,
where there's no faking of injuries in those. Jeez. I think we'll end it on that. This is our last show. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll be back on again in September.
Yeah, early September, late August, depending upon when we get it.
Probably the Monday or Tuesday after Labor Day, and I think I'm gone maybe a little bit that week. I don't get the time off anymore.
What?
Well, I'm always gone Labor Day week, the whole week.
I'm going to say this. I'll finish with this. On August 31st, the Bison are playing at Target Field against
South Dakota State.
No, against. Why? It's not Dayton. It starts with a D. Why am I'm throwing a blank here, folks. I've got 8 tickets to watch the Bison August 31st.
You got 8 tickets for the game, so the name of the teams are on these tickets.
I don't have the tickets in my possession yet because everything's electronic now.
Okay, DePaul?
Nope, it's not DePaul. Who the heck is he?
Davidson?
Nope, not Davidson. But it does start with a D, folks. Anyway,
that really helps.
We should do a show. You should get Darcy to get you some tickets, and we'll go do the show from Target Field on August 31st.
Darcy, if you can do that, we will do the show right from that. Where is it?
It's at Target Field.
Which is Target Field? That's
where the Twins play.
Okay, yeah.
That's where we are looking to go, and
well, we're going to close it on this. And hey, if you like the show, call up KCC, call Backus and say, we like watching them, they do a nice job, because we really like doing this. It's fun for us, and we have really nothing else. We're both happily married guys, but otherwise our life is we have nothing else. So, we're done.
Thanks,
don't take
everybody.
us too serious.
This program brought to you by Brewski's Bar and Grill, located in Utica, Minnesota. Your one-stop shop for delicious burgers, fries, pizzas, and more.